give you the thumbnail recap after months and months and months and months of chatter. Woj with a scoop. Shams with a scoop. Mark Stein with a scoop. Everybody's got a scoop. More scoops than an ice cream shop. Well, Kevin Durant has decided to back that ass up now. He has reversed course and decided to stay put in Brooklyn. He met with the owner, Joe Tsai. Made a lot of money over there in China. The general manager, Sean Marks, and head coach Steve Nash in La La Land. These guys all hang out in L.A. in the offseason. They love L.A. Now, Durant demanded a trade famously back in June. And so we got through June. We got through July. We're almost all the way through the month of August. And now on a dime, cha-cha-change. So we are told that Kevin Durant had issued an ultimatum for Brooklyn to either pick him or Steve Nash and Sean Marks, the GM, but they have hugged it out, and Kevin Durant has decided, at least publicly, the announcement made that he will stay with his current team. Hallelujah. All right, so let us discuss the question. What are the odds that this is truly the end of the Kevin Durant trade cycle, that the gossip ends here? So I'm going to set the MALLER Sportsbook odds at plus 10,000 that this is the end. I am objecting that this is the end. I don't believe it's the end. So plus 10,000 says there is a less than 1% chance that this is the end of the line. I've got Silversmith, the Dead Sea, and Record Scratch. And we will combine all of these things together, and we will make an amazing bundle of joy in this MALLER monologue. So, number one. As we digest the latest revelations in the Kevin Durant journey, we believe on this show that this is far from the end. Nothing involving Kevin Durant is carved in stone. I realize he's got a contract, but in that business, contracts don't matter. If you're a certain level ball player, it's what you want, right? It's whatever you ponder that day, whatever would give you ecstasy. That's what matters here. And so I look at this as a makeshift peace treaty, that we are talking about a very fluid situation. And think of it like if you've ever been to a Broadway play. Maybe you've never been to Broadway or off-Broadway. Maybe you've just been to like an elementary school, and you've done that, right? And so you go in an elementary school play, and they have an intermission. It's like that. Think of this as a pause, a recess. And it gives us time, those of us that are blowhards and gas bags, to discuss the drama, the human emotion with our friends and contemplate the future. Kevin Durant is the bohemian baller. He is the human kaleidoscope. Under the big top, ever changing. And so it depends on what happens at the Silversmith. Ergo, the mood ring will tell you what's up. He's gone, by the way, I got the inside skinny on this. He's gone from amber on the mood ring. He has a vintage 1970s mood ring. It's 50 years old, but he still uses amber, which I believe means nervous and unhappy. And now he's at green, which means his emotion is average and calm. All of this is subject to change at a moment's notice in the blink of an eye. Durant, from what we know, is notoriously fickle. And for him to do the walk of shame, and don't think that was not the walk of shame, in a sport that caters to the athlete, Kevin Durant had a conniption fit, and so far he has been unable to get what he wants. And so he has to say, I'm going to go back to the Nets. But you just wait for the first losing streak, shooting slump, locker room quagmire. It's going to happen. It happens with everybody. And one fine day, it's going to happen in Brooklyn. And then, ka-boom! We're on like Donkey Kong. Now, page 2. Why did Kevin Durant make this change? Why did he agree to stay with the Nets again for now? So the only plausible answer here is that he had no other choice. He was caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, and so he chose to decide to come back to play across the Brooklyn Bridge. That the brass there has been stubborn, and they turned this story upside down there. They were stubborn as a mule, and they were inflexible, only willing to trade KD in a train heist situation. And nobody was willing to give them all the nice gold on the train. Demanding the Nets were to make out like bandits, and they were unable to pilfer the number of players and draft picks they wanted. Otherwise, Durant would have been going somewhere else. And so the Nets, just imagine in that cartoon bubble over your head, imagine the Nets front office there. They're sitting on a pontoon boat, and they cast their line. They're doing a little fishing, and they're like, well, wait a minute. The fish aren't biting. Oh, that's right. We're at the Dead Sea. There's no sharks. There's no fish. There's no other living organisms that are interested in Kevin Durant at this asking price. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. I mean, teams are generous, but they're not generous to that point. So all they found was bacteria, and they didn't want any of that bacteria. All right, final point. So Kevin Durant, because of this, is taking on shrapnel from around the NBA. The glue guy, Patrick Beverley, he snapped at KD for wasting everyone's time. He went on a little rant, little tirade there that there's a bunch of free agents and they've been unable to get contracts because of Kevin Durant. Patrick Beverley saying, you all can sit and don't say nothing, but that ain't cool. Beverley barking on social media. He says it's dudes with families out there who haven't got a job because of this KD blank. Starts with an S, sounds like a ship is what it sounds like, but it might be something else. The quote continues, and to be on and off ain't cool. Now, Kevin Durant responded to Patrick Beverley, the glue guy who's locked in Utah for now, giving a blame KD hashtag in response. So, the question on this one, did Kevin Durant mess up the NBA offseason? The answer here is 100%. Right? It was the record scratch that stopped the musical chairs game from playing. There was a stagnation of the NBA transactionation. Like the market, you look at the Celtics, the Suns, the Heat, the Raptors, and mystery team, they were all jockeying for position to trade for Kevin Durant, to try to meet the demands, the bounty that the Nets wanted. And so they were hunkering and bunkering and trying to get that done, and they couldn't get it done. But a casualty of that was these free agents, and these are like back-of-the-rotation players, most of them. They're not starters. Very rarely are they starters, but it just stopped. I completely agree with Patrick Beverley. Everything went to the back burner. And Durant's response was on brand. Thumbs up. Right? It's what you'd expect. It was the cartoon character. If he was a cartoon character, he would be Droopy, the old Basset Hound with the droopy face and all that. It's always. Who are you? It's the woe is me. It's the everyone's out to get me. It's the hey, I've got 17,000 burner accounts. I'm going to defend myself. And he continues to be frazzled, bleary-eyed, and just trying to turn things around. What's the old quote? He's turned his life around. KD used to be depressed and miserable, but now he's just miserable and depressed. So he's improved his life. Now, fortunately, he's really, really good at basketball. And he'll shrink back on a team, and he'll put up numbers, and people will move on from this. But he will be taunted when he goes on the road, but he's used to that. That's how that works.